One of the reasons the Fisher and the Chicago school in the 30s were considered to be radical was because they always were against the gold standard. They're always chafing under the strength of the gold standard. Friedman, of course, frankly wants to abolish gold altogether as a monetary commodity and replace it with totally fiat currencies. The dollar will be totally fiat, the franc and the mark and so forth and so on. And all of these currencies are supposed to fluctuate freely in relation to each other. Now this change would, again, see, supposedly this would be more efficient than the present system. You wouldn't have to worry about the balance of payments all the time. There wouldn't be a pound crisis every 2 years and all the rest of it. It would be more efficient in the sense that the exchange rates would then fluctuate in accordance with the monetary issue of each currency. However, even though it would be more efficient, it would be a lot worse. For one thing, it would cut completely every tie to gold, every tie to a commodity money we have now, as weak as the tie is. And for one thing, at least now we have this check on the government that they can't inflate too much because the balance of payments will be pretty embarrassing. Gold will keep flowing out in this kind of embarrassing situation. So at least this has provided a fairly good check on the government in the last few years on inflation. Because one thing that the Friedman, of course, doesn't realize is that the government is not sort of a neutral agency, not sort of a neutral instrument for social action. Is essentially the Chicago position. Sometimes they're efficient, sometimes they're inefficient. You sort of take the thing on an ad hoc basis. The government is essentially inherently an inflationary instrument. In other words, my contention is that the inherent tendency of the state is inflation. And if you give to the state without any check at all, without the gold standard check, the total power, you give to the government the total power to inflate money at will, they're going to do it. They're going to use it. For reasons I'll say in a minute. So what Friedman then advocates is to leave the total absolute dictatorial control of the money supply in the hands of the central government without any check, without any commodity money check, without any international money at all, placing all power in the hands of the government and then trusting the government, urging it to bind itself by these 3% rules, 3-4% per year rules. They're not going to do it. I mean, it's just utopian and unrealistic and kooky to expect that the federal government is going to do this. It's going to first get total power and then hardly use it. And I think we know about power by this time in the 20th century. You know this sort of thing isn't done. The great thing, the major point, the great thing about the gold standard, the critics of the gold standard all say that those of us who are in favor of the gold standard are sort of, gold fetishists. We like to stay there in the closet, at night and run our hands through our gold coins. Ah, gold. That sort of thing. It's a lot of nonsense. I've unfortunately never seen a gold coin. I'd like to. The main reason why we're in favor of the gold standard is because gold is a commodity money. In order to get it, it's costly to get it. You have to dig it out of the ground. That costs a lot. And you have to produce it, sell it, and so forth. This is all costly to discover and mine it. And it creates this market check, an automatic market check on government tendency toward inflation. Whereas fiat paper, government paper, doesn't have this check of high cost and so forth. It's almost costless to print money. Also, another point is, I think a very important one, is that money is really a key command post of the entire economic system. Money, of course, is used in every exchange, every transaction, as money is one part of it. So money is the most important single commodity, and he who controls the money supply, I think, is a long way to controlling the whole economic system, regardless of whether you say, well, yes, we're in favor of the free market, we're against any intervention except in money. So if you allow intervention in money, you've really got the whole system in your hands anyway. And as I say, Friedman would not only leave this power in the hands of the state, he welcomes it, he's in favor of it. He sort of would shove the power into the hands of the state. It's unlimited power to print money.